Hello, everyone. This is Mikoy, and welcome to TPP VI, Tours Plaza Premier's League 6th edition. Ignore the logo because that is wrong. Today, we're going to do a general overview for people who don't know exactly what TPPL is. Basically, it is just a very fleshed out OM's team tour that features everything from the best and brightest out of Tours Plaza room. Now, I haven't been in the room for very long, but I am an integral part of this community. Well, self-appointed integral part of this community, but I've been here long enough to know that I am one of the most experienced players in this league and will continue to do so in the next coming forwards, at least if this tour is still active. Our hosts is Prince of All Tacos and the Iron Pikachu, who are doing an incredible job as staff and will continue to do so as hosts for this year's TPP. Now, unfortunately, the pool has slightly diminished from last year, considering the signups we have just now. But I can rest assured that we're going to see some new blood and we might unlock some hidden potential because maybe some of these players are, you know, they have hidden potential and we can't wait to showcase them in this particular league. So I can't wait to see what happens there. Um, Today, we're going to just run through the formats, run through the teams as well, and try to get some ideas. And hopefully, we can review some of the players as well, just for consistency's sake. Okay? Okay. So, Tours Plaza Premier 6. The tournament will be comprised of 6 teams as opposed to the normal 8 because we only had like 8 manager sign up pairs that actually signed up to manage. So we had to pick the 6 and we chose the 6. Minimum of 6 players and a minimum of 3 subs. That should be 8 because there's 8 formats that we chose, not 6. 8 players with a minimum of 3 subs that will compete in a straight round robin tournament. And every team will get to play each other against every other team. At the end of the round robin, the top 4 teams, which was a discussion point at one point. Maybe they were debating 3 versus 4. I personally want 4 because it does a lot, because it allows teams to be a little bit more. It's not supposed to be a competitive side. A bye week is not. As much as we want the top seed to get a bye and then wait for finals, I don't feel that is as competitive as say two matches in for the semifinals and then moving on to the finals as we've done for every single TPP since. Maybe except TPP one, but I forgot. Teams will then move on to our semifinals, where the number 1 seed will play against the 4th seed, and second seed will play on third seed, as per usual. And the rules are always dictated by 2 points for a win, one for a draw, and 0 for a loss. Each team will have 100,000 points to spend on their draft as 8 players plus 3 subs. So they corrected this here, but they didn't correct this here. Oh boy. Um, each player starts at 3,000 at the auction, with playing managers fixed at 15,000 points should they want to play and manage. But fortunately, there's a lot of the managers opted to not play instead, try to preserve their money a little bit. But if they're confident, they can play. It's just that it comes at a cost. That means each team can have 2 managers playing, of course. Signups will end August 16th. That's a pretty much given. And today we're going to be talking about the formats. So what are the formats that were selected? This was a very contentious as one. It's always been a contentious talking about which tiers should make it into TPP. We even have a poll about it, but it didn't really look to be the best way, in my opinion. However, they did choose the formats that would make sense for a tour such as this, so I'm pretty excited about it. So first off, we have the OMM tiers. Unfortunately, Stab and Mega and Stab Mods plus almost any ability didn't make the cut. They were unfortunately the meta is too cramped. According to the other meta games mashups people, the meta is just kind of too wacky, too convoluted to really build upon a truly defined stab mons plus almost any ability and stab mons mix in mega tier to really have like a defined build. for this TPP especially. We could see some potentials, but right now the Poke right now Poke AA, which is um, almost any ability plus I forgot what it is. Poke AA. It's Poke AA and Cam Move Chaos, which I'm gonna try to look up here see. Yeah, Poke abilities, which is Pokemon have access to one new ability. That's always been a staple since I think TPP 3, so that should be a return. Everyone likes that format as well, especially with the DLC moves that were released since then. And then Move Chaos, which is a new addition to at least the TPP library that was put forth. Move Chaos is a mashup between Camamons and National Dex that allows almost any move. So we have an almost any ability tier and we have an almost any move tier. So I think that is very, very unique, very special. Could allow for some really potential interesting builds, if I may be honest. Same six National Dex, no Terra. That's always been the staple TPP format. Everyone loves building this meta. This is one of my favorite metas to build for as an experienced same six player. It's always unique to seeing uh, uh, diff- the same mirror matchup Pokemon, but with completely different sets that you can, stylize. And I always love like interesting builds like this. And this was partly why this is one of my favorite metas because you can really pick apart and really utilize this the given Pokemon that you're selected for and maximize its full potential by giving it random sets. For example, you could have a special Flygon versus a physical Flygon, for instance. Gen 9 Mystery OU, another staple of TPP. This one's an OU, but um, it's a best of three format featuring the three most recent gens, but with different rules attached to it. So you're probably gonna get OU plus only choice items, OU but only level 5 Pokemon, for example. But they've know, but they know much better than that, and they're probably gonna give better ideas than what I could give. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what they can do with it. And this is one of the new formats that we've introduced for TPP, and a lot of people really like this, so it's got a good reception. Ore Coliseum. That's right. Gen 3 Ore Coliseum got picked for this year. Basically, what this is advanced VGC. That's right. This is not advanced doubles because that's a completely different one. Um, it's basically an alternative. And it's also, I believe it is best of three as well, which I think we had a poll about this one. And yeah, this is a completely best of three. Um, totally understandable. I think this one is going to be a favorite amongst the doubles players and definitely something that doubles players should consider while playing because for any doubles mains out there, this is the tier for you. This is probably the only format that you're going to play unless you want to try and the other metas that we have here. Of course, we have the Ranbats tier, the random battles tier that has always never left because Ranbats is as essential as TPP itself. Um, bring 12, pick 6 shared power. I believe we had this one a year or two before, but I don't remember. But it is a very interesting one, and we've had tried to customize our random battles formats over the years, but this one seems to be the most well liked, I guess. This one definitely not the most polarized according to some people there, but definitely is the most fun and actually playable according to the the old heads in terms of TBP. They have, of course, the Ubers tier, which is National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. This one's always another big staple in TPP, especially amongst the Ubers mains that really know how to play this tier. We've had some big success stories with this meta, with some top tier heavy players playing this meta and really using using this meta to their fullest potential and getting great records based on it over the years. It's really incredible. But yeah, this one's always a staple. Can't expect too much out of it. Hopefully, this will be played the exact same as we did last year. And another new format has been introduced. That is right, Gen 9 LC Mix and Mega. This one's a tier I'm actually quite interested in. Basically, if you ever play the Mix and Mega tier, this one utilizes Lil Cup Pokemon. So you're probably expecting what? A Bellsprout having Charizard type Y so we can get maximum, so it can really maximize its solar beams really well. Plus, you can Terra Fire it. So, so it really use that Terra Blast to full potential. Yeah, those kinds of things. So yeah, those are some of the ideas. Maybe you could try your own by, of course, testing it out on Pokemon Showdown. Hopefully, you have some test games, and yeah, those are the formats. So let's introduce now the teams that will be competing. We have the six that will be competing this year, and look at that, all new team. Well, not all new teams, but all six teams have been presented, and you may notice someone missing, someone integral missing, as integral as the tour itself. The defending champions, the Absolute Absol posters, are not returning this year. That's right, because one of the co-managers of them is a, is in he's doing better for himself of being a parent. So congratulations to them. And the other one simply wants to back out. Didn't want to return. Of course, all power to them. It's their prerogative. They have already enough wins. So let's give a win to another team that is competing this year. So we have Fragments and Seru, aka Ceaseless Seru Ledges. A very, very good team, I think. Fragment has shown in the past that he has managed very good teams to good success, as you may know known from BLT when he managed the Troup into runner-up status. And Seru has always been TP main, tours and TP main. Really, really good hand when it comes to managing potential. So there you go. This is a first pairing, and hopefully we'll see what happens here. Danman 99 and Street Boom, the Rustboro Revivrooms. Very known amongst the community, these two. Dan the Man 99 for the old heads and Street Boom for the generation after Dan. But both are extremely well known people for the community. They're both very active amongst the tours and tours plaza rooms, especially. So it's interesting to see what they'll do here. Also, Dan is a former runner up when in TPP in 1 year. So that's a nice little feather in his cap. Euphanos and PokeArt 2004 is our next pairing. Of course, PokeArt, my co-host for this video. She's not here today because of school issues. And very experienced player, very experienced manager, and she's, of course, done well in the past years, and she's also been competing since the first iteration, so we are true veterans in the sport. And Euphanos is, of course, her co-manager. This team has been semifinalist twice in the past. PokeArt 3-time semifinalist. Actually, her first year managing in TPP, she was runner-up. But over the course of her and Euphanos managing, they were series semifinalist for 2 times. And the Limisawa Street Litwicks should be a very, very good team, and it's a team to watch because, quite honestly, I think they're the most successful team left in this. Out of the six, they may be the most successful team here, but we'll see what happens. Rafna and Oakley's, the Stupid Town Snoms. What a name. Both are relative newcomers in terms of managing, as far as I've seen, but both have done very good in the past. Rafna has, as I think last year, they did very well in Poke. So they're great. They shown that they can carry a meta to their full potential, so there you go. And Oakley's um, did also pretty good 1 year before. I think it was TPP 4, but they've done 1 year in the past, and they'll do it well. And hopefully this team will be a newish team, but it's very interesting to see what happens. Hidden in Eevee, or hiding in Eevee, the Taboo Typhlosions, or as I like to call it, the Smogon team. There's always going to be one team out of the pool of managers. There's always going to be that one team that is the de facto Smogon team, and these two are 100% it, considering they're badged, they're badged users, and they're very frequently do smog on tours in the past. So this will be a first time managing experience for both of them. So whoever gets drafted to their team, let's see what happens. And then hopefully they do well as well. And Class and Miss Crisis, the Schrodinger's Skitties. Miss Crisis, of course, the former Eggs. They were my team last year as the other metagame mashers, if you remember. We've done pretty well last year. Unfortunately, we've had some unfortunate circumstances that held us back from making playoffs, but I had a relatively fine experience with them, especially as their, well, not really main same six player, but I was definitely like pulling my weight for some of the games in same six, even though uh, I didn't win most of my games. But I definitely had fun. I definitely had fun, and I was happy with the sets I've been given. So I really tried experimenting them out, see what happens, and everyone pitched in and helped. So hopefully, Class and Eggs, hopefully they will consider drafting me again. But I hope everyone considers drafting me because I am actually signed up. That's right, your boy is actually competing. I'll never miss a TPP. That is a rule. I'll never miss a TPP. Yes, you can't. The people around me may quit, but I'm still here supporting TPP because this is a tour that I've been a part of since the very beginning, and we'll see to the end. As a general rule for most games, especially for the new players, activity calls and dead games will always be a rule. Hopefully, this will be strictly enforced this year, as opposed to the year I hosted, where it's always a de facto. If they don't want to show up, they will not play. Oh well, whatever. It's fine. But anyway, yeah. Activity calls and dead games is players should be very wary about that. Especially scheduling is very very important. I will never learn my lesson, but because I'm always a busy guy. But hey, I'll make sure to. But in terms of TPP, I will always make sure to play my games. Yeah, prizes, of course, not too big as it's. We would like a custom avatar, but room prize winner role in the official Tellers Plaza Discord server, not bad. It is mostly a for fun tour. This is not an overtly competitive tour, much like its counterparts BLT and TLT. But hey, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this one. So I hope to see you guys in the actual tour. I will be making videos of the coverage. I will be doing a full coverage of the tour itself. As per usual, we'll be streaming the draft. Hopefully, when the draft date gets announced, or I'll make a video about it. Who knows? But hey, thank you guys so much for watching this overview, and I'll hope to see you when I see you. So, see you in the next video. This has been Mikoy, signing out. Enjoy TPP, guys.